going to do this by hand also. Okay. Again, if somebody makes a mistake, you go down. If it's hand tied, it'll just slip up in the collar. Okay, so it's ideal for what we're doing anyway. So go ahead and put this guy in the spindle. So we've got to make sure I'm in the right mode. Alright, so let's look at the Haas control a little bit, okay? So if I go to my offset table here, when I press offset, it's going to bring me to one of two pages. This is my tool length offset page. So if I have tools set for tool heights and lengths, they're on this page here. Okay, we don't have anything in there, we've taken them all out. If I press the offset button again, it goes to my fixture offset page. Okay? We have the ability to put fixture offsets in for X, Y, and for Z. Now we're going to leave Z at 0. Okay, so we want to make sure that we actually get a Z number in there, we clear it out. I'll show you guys how to do that. So right now we have 54, 55, 56, 57, and 58. Remember I was telling you guys about the G154? And over here on the right side of parentheses, they got the G110 code that it lines up with. The page down, you will see all the offsets. It stops at G129, which is as far as they went on the older machines, and then it's all just the key code from there. It goes all the way to P99, and all you got to do is change the setting on the console to make that go to P199. Okay? Yeah, I've never seen the need to have that many fixture offsets, but you very well may see that. When you guys get all done setting your offsets, and I have verified them and signed off on your paper, you want to zero out what is here. Okay? On the Haas, you can zero out the entire offset page by pressing X, Y, or Z, does not matter which one, and then pressing the origin button. It says zero all, yes or no. I'm going to say yes. I don't recommend doing this at work unless you have your boss's approval on doing it, because you're going to wipe out all of the offsets on the machine. Okay? And make sure that everybody at your company is on board before you clear out the machine, because they may not be too happy about that. Okay? Alright, so we're going to go to MDI. There's also a little program built in there that I'm going to show you guys how to plug in a few minutes, but we don't want that right now. Right now, we want to make sure that we start that spindle at 1,000 RPM. So I'm going to erase that. So I'm going to say erase program, and it dumps it all. And then I'm going to type in M3, S1000. I'm going to say in the block. And the Haas, you can say right enter on a Fanic machine, you will be having to go insert. And somehow an X0 got put in there. Here's another cool thing about the Haas. When you have a bunch of text program data entered, you don't necessarily have to use the cursor keys to get back to a spot. You can use the hand wheel. This is really quick when you're editing a program. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. For example, here's a program that's currently active. It's your tic-tac-toe board you're going to do here in a few weeks. But if I want to find something in this program like a feed rate, I can say F, cursor down, and it finds the first F for feed rate. I want to find the next spindle speed, I can say S, cursor down, and it finds the next spindle speed. If I want to find the next M6, I can type M6, cursor down, and it jumps to the next M6. Okay, plus there's some nice one-button features to go to the end of your program. Home goes to the start of your program. Okay, so we got a lot of nice features, and this hand wheel is great because you can quickly buzz through your program, change things. Very few machines I've ever seen the hand wheel have the ability to jump through the program. This Haas has done this for quite a long time. All right, anyway, so back to MDI. All right, so we want to execute this program. Now, I just turned the machine on. I did not do the door hold override, so that means I'm going to have to close the door.
Hey, Dan.
Yes?
Did you put a space in right there? That emerald?
I did not.
It does it automatically?
It did it automatically.
Okay.
Okay? All right, I'm going to say cycle start, and whenever you do MDI commands, just realize when you push start, it's doing it. So you should get in the habit of always being ready to stop it. Okay, I've done this for many years, and still to this day, when I put an MDI command in, I'm ready to stop it. Okay?
Which one, the speed folder or the...
Well, you're kind of ready for both, because if you really got something bad going on, that's the only thing that's going to really help you. All right, so I'm going to do the door hold override. It's going to make it easier for everybody to see. So I'm going to say setting graphics, and on newer hosses, I don't think you can do this anymore. This is going to allow me to open the door. There we go. And I'm going to put on the operator display. So I'm going to go page down from here. Make sure it says position operator. This is the one that I can change on the fly. This is a really handy display that Haas has. And I'm going to go ahead and bring myself down close to that upper left corner of the part. A little close there. I'm going to move off a bit. Move myself close to the block. When I get close to the block, I'm going to go ahead and set the increment to 1,000. I'm going to feed up to the workpiece. I'm going to go 1,000 at a time, just until I see that edge finder move, and I'm going to peek in. There it goes. Looks like it went right about there. This edge finder is not really showing a big break. So I'm going to go ahead. Now you can do this one in two ways. If you want to just go X origin, that's fine. You can zero the X position right there. Okay? But just realize you have to still compensate for that edge finder radius, which is 0.1. Okay, now where you're at, each corner is going to change. On this side, we're currently X minus 0.1. As we get to the other side of the block, we're going to be at X plus 0.1. Okay? You can preload that. I can say X minus 0.1, press origin. I can load that up right now. Okay, so that's where I'm at, and that's all I'm doing. I'm telling the machine I'm currently at minus 0.1. Now I'm going to go and get the Y. But before I get the Y, I just touched on that X position. You always want to go back and hit the X again. Okay, just like when you're measuring things. The first measurement, how do you know that's the measurement? It might be. You only know until it repeats. Same thing with an edge finder. Okay, did I get it? I thought I got it. But one thing I can do to verify it is do it again. I should come within 1,000, but it's always quicker the second time. Hard to see. Actually, it is. It's off a little bit. Let's do it again. Alright, that's under repeated. Okay. Sometimes edge finders very clearly move off, sometimes they don't. It took twice to really get that one right, but we got it, and it did repeat. Now we're going to get the Y-axis. Hopefully this one breaks a little better. definitely works better. So are we there yet? I don't know. I'm gonna back off and go 1,000 at a time. There, right there. So this time we're y plus 1,1. There's 2 decimal points right there. And then I'm gonna say origin, and it's gonna change the y value to 0.1. Okay.
On the minus.
This time we want it positive because we're above the point.
Yeah.
It's going to change as we go around this block. Now just realize the position operator coordinates, they're strictly reference. There's no tie-in to the offset table whatsoever. This is not entering offset data. This is simply setting a reference position that allows me to backtrack. The only thing the Haas can do to record your fixture offset position is to record the position the machine is currently sitting at. Okay, now let me ask you this. Are we sitting at G54, X0, Y0 right now? No. I need to get it back to that position, and I'm going to use the position operator page to get there. So what I'll do is I'll go up in Z, get it above the part. And then I'll go to Y. And I'll take that to Y at 0. And I may have to go to my 10th setting in this case. Then I'm going to go to X. I'm going to take X to 0. Now I'm going to physically look in there. I'm going to look at the X-axis. Does it look like I'm there? Yes. Right about centered on that edge. And I'm going to stick my head in the machine. I'm going to look down it this way. I'm on that edge. So now I am currently sitting at the G54 position. So now I'm going to go to the screen. I'm going to go to the offset page. Now this has a G52 offset position. G52 you can set like a tool change position. We don't use that for setting parts. Okay? So I'm going to move this down to G54. Now, the Haas will always display to you the machine, how far you are away from machine 0 below here. When you are on X, it displays X. When you're on Y, it displays Y. The way you can transfer this number directly into that area there, which is what you want to do. Because what we're doing is we're making a precision measurement from machine 0 to part 0, and we just did that for the edge plunge. So now we're going to, right below the F4 key, it says part 0 set. We're going to press it, and it loads that number right to there. And then it jumps to the Y. And then I'm going to press again, part 0 set. Now G54 is set. We're going to leave Z at 0. Very important. Okay? We're going to do a real basic setup, what's called the gap method. We're not even going to use the Z. It should always be 0 when we start off.
What's that button again?
Part 0 set, right below the F4 key.
Part 0?
Oh, part 0 set. If for some reason you accidentally put in a Z, it's easy to do. I just did it. We can get rid of that. Here's how you get rid of it. Highlight the Z. Now the Haas has the ability to add and subtract numbers to an offset value. In other words, I can go 1 point right enter, and it will take +1 off of that. That's what right enter does. But if I just want to make it 0, I just type in 0. And instead of pressing right enter, I go to the opposite corner of the control, which is that F1 key, and I press F1. That hard loads that 0 in there. It overwrites it. So F1 overwrites the value with whatever you're putting in. Right enter will add or subtract with that value. Okay? It's important to know the difference here. Okay? Alright. So we have X set, Y set, Z should be 0. Now we're going to get G55. So I'll go back to my position operator page. These coordinates, they were great. They got me to that first position, but I'm going to override them to go to the next one.
So let's go over to
here. Now theoretically the Y should be the same exact position, but we'll do it again. Doesn't matter if you get X first or Y first. Right there, I'll say off by 6,000. So my guess is the block was cut differently or something. I don't know. I'll say Y point origin. I'll make sure it repeats. It repeated. So now I'm going to get the X value. You should always move slowly first with this hand wheel before you speed up a little bit. Many times in a noisy machine shop, you won't hear the beep that you press the button. It's easy to make a mistake and get it in the wrong axis. So now I'm going to come into it. Right there, just barely moved. So this time we're plus 0.1 now. So I'm going to say X 0.1 origin. Now I'm going to go above the part. I'm going to take the X to 0. I'm going to take the Y to 0. And again, as a double check, I'm going to go ahead and look at it. Am I there in X? Yep. Does it appear I'm there in Y? Yep. Now I'm going to go to my offset page. Going to move it down to the X position on G55 now. And I'm going to go part 0 set or 0 set. Okay? And we're going to do it again. We're going to get the G56 position. So when you press reset, it turns off the spindle. Alright, nice thing about the spindle is set at 1,000 RPM, so when I do turn it back on, I don't have to go back through and down to do it. I can get X first here. It's important when you guys do this, you make sure before you, because I see a lot of guys do this, they leave it at 10,000s. Yeah, you'll get really good reaction out of that edge finder at 10,000s. But how accurate are you? 10,000s. Okay. So anyway, make sure you slow it down to 1,000s. Run about there. We'll say X 0.1 origin. I gotta be in the position operator page to do this. Okay, so there's my X position. Now I'll get the other points a little quicker so we can get to that circle. And then I'll show you how we write that little program. Alright, now we're at Y minus 0.1 origin. Go above the part. Take Y to 0. X to 0. Again, make sure you're there. Looks like we're there. Just remember, this has no tie to the opposite table other than a reference position, but it's extremely handy. You're gonna wish you had that page over there. Okay? Alright, so let's go to the offset page. Now we're on G56, let's say part 0 set. 0 set. Okay, now we're going to get the other corner. Let's go there. I'm click on this one. edge finder I used this morning was great. This one is not as reactive. Oh, position operator, I didn't type in the axes, so it says invalid axes. Because it doesn't know what axes I would want to change. So I go X minus 1. There you go. So now it's going to be Y. I got it already. Okay, so there's the Y. So Y minus 1 origin. Go above the part. Zero out the Y. Zero out the X. Okay, again, you visually check, see if you're there. Go to your offset table. Now you're on G57, and now we just transfer the position. Part 0 set, part 0 set. Now we're going to get that hole, okay? So let's go back to our position display, getting the hole. And this would be the same thing for centering in the middle of a slot, which sometimes we have to do, okay? First thing is you visually just try to get your edge finder in about the middle of the hole. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact. I never even went slower than 10,000. Okay, visually got it close. Then I'm going to take the edge finder and I'm going to drop it in the middle of the hole. It's important when you're getting a circular feature like this is to only do one axis at a time. That's all you can do. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is change it to X, change it over to 1,000ths, and I'm just going to go over until I hit one side on the X axis. Just touched right there. You can barely see it, but it did. So, this time, I'm not even going to compensate for the radius of the edge finder. I'm going to just say X origin. Why don't I need to compensate for the radius of the edge finder? Because if I compensated for it now, I'd be going, I'm at X plus 0.1 from that edge. When I get the other side, I'm going to be at X minus 0.1. So they're going to cancel each other out. So I can just zero it, okay? So I zero one side. I'm going to come to the other. Right there, it just moved. So it makes sense. I use the 1-inch end mill to poke those holes in that thing. Okay, 805 is probably about right. So you're just going to take that number, divide it in 2. So we're going to be at 4025. And then we're going to hit the X origin again. That should zeroes out of the x-axis. Now we're going to get the y. Now, the holes more than likely are probably H-shaped, okay? Because it had so much vice tension when I made it the first time, it's almost impossible to repeat it when you clamp those again. So more than likely, they get changed, they don't get clamped enough, they get clamped too much. Anyway. Alright, so we just touched there, so I'm going to say Y origin. And we're going to go down and get the other side. .806. Okay, well that one is showing a pretty round circle. Alright, now we go to 403. Exactly half of that. I'll go Y origin. Didn't really need to do that, but now we're just going to record this position. If you have a number here, it's not going to change the number at all that gets entered under the offset page. The offset page only records where it is at. It will take no input whatsoever from that position operator page. Okay. All right. So now we're going to put this position on the D58. So we're going to say for 0 set. Okay.
No, zero.
What's that?
We just link the zero.
The Z?
Z, yeah,
Yes.
zero.
Yes, Z should always be 0. If you do accidentally put a number there, which you very well might, make sure you clear it out. Okay? If it gets mixed up with a full length offset, and it's not properly done with a gauge length, we're going to crash. Okay? So to get rid of it, just highlight it. Probably the best way is just type in new number 0 and then hit F1. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little program to check these out. So I like the edge finder, I don't know, maybe a little bit above the part, 100 thousandths, just so we know if we clear everything.